Welcome back to the channel, the place where people who are serious about their financial future come to think differently about money. If you're watching this video right now, there's a good chance you already sense that something in your financial life isn't working. Maybe you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you look at your bank account at the end of the month and wonder where everything went. Maybe you're just done being stuck. Whatever brought you here, we're glad you came. Now, before we get into this list, let's be honest about something. Some of you are going to watch this entire video, nod along, feel inspired, and then go right back to doing exactly what you've always done. And that's fine. That's the majority. But there's a smaller group of you who are going to write these down, sit with them, and genuinely ask yourself which ones apply to your life. Those are the people this video is made for. These are 15 money moves that keep people stuck in the poverty cycle, and what you need to do instead. You're spending money you don't have yet. This is probably the single most dangerous financial habit a person can have, and it's incredibly common. The moment you start borrowing against your future self, you enter a cycle that is extremely hard to break. You buy something on credit today, and next month's paycheck is already spoken for before it arrives. Then something unexpected happens. A car repair, a medical bill, a broken phone, and now you're borrowing again to cover that. And on it goes. The rule is simple. If you don't have the money in your account right now, you can't afford it. Not next week, not after your next paycheck, not technically, because your credit limit allows it, right now. If it's not there, you walk away and you come back when it is. That's it. This one rule alone, if you apply it consistently, will change your entire relationship with money. You have zero emergency fund. Here's a question. What would happen to your life if you lost your job tomorrow? Or if your car broke down and the repair cost $1,000? If the honest answer is, I'd be in serious trouble, then you are one unexpected event away from a financial crisis at all times. That is not a comfortable place to live. Poor people are reactive with money. Rich people are prepared. It's not glamorous to talk about having 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in a boring savings account that you never touch. But that boring savings account is the difference between an inconvenience and a catastrophe. Start small if you have to. Even a few $100s set aside creates a buffer that can stop a small problem from becoming a massive one. Build it up over time and guard it like it's the most important financial asset you have, because it is. You're buying liabilities and calling them assets. A car is not an asset. A new phone is not an asset. Designer clothes are not assets. These are things that lose value the second you buy them and cost you money every month you own them. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. This is one of the most important financial distinctions you will ever learn, and most people live their entire lives without truly understanding it. Every time you make a purchase, ask yourself, is this putting money in my pocket or taking money out of it? If the answer is taking money out, fine. Some of those purchases are necessary and some are enjoyable. But at least be honest about what you're doing. Don't trick yourself into thinking you're building wealth by buying things that look expensive. You're ignoring your financial numbers. How much money came in last month? How much went out? How much do you owe in total? How much are you worth right now if you added up everything you own and subtracted everything you owe? If you can't answer those questions right now, you are flying blind, and you cannot fix what you refuse to look at. Most people avoid checking their bank accounts because the truth is uncomfortable. They'd rather not know. But the people who get out of the poverty cycle are the ones who face the numbers head on, no matter how bad they are, and then make a plan. You can't drive to a destination you've never looked up. Know your numbers. Check them regularly. The discomfort of looking is always smaller than the damage of not looking. You're trying to look rich instead of becoming rich. This one stings a little, but it needs to be said. There is a huge difference between looking wealthy and actually building wealth. People stuck in the poverty cycle very often spend money on things that signal status. The newest car, the latest sneakers, the designer bag, the expensive dinner. Not because they truly enjoy these things, but because of how they want other people to perceive them. Here's the hard truth. The people you're trying to impress with those purchases either don't notice or don't care nearly as much as you think. And meanwhile, the money you spent trying to look successful is the exact money that could have been invested in actually becoming successful. Wealth is built quietly. It doesn't announce itself on Instagram. It shows up in your bank account, your investment portfolio, and your ability to make choices without financial stress. You're relying on a single stream of income. If one event, a layoff, a health issue, a company shutdown, can completely eliminate your income, your financial situation is dangerously fragile. One of the biggest differences between people who stay poor and people who build real wealth is that wealthy people eventually stop depending on just one source of money. This doesn't mean you need to quit your job and start 5 businesses tomorrow. It means you start thinking about what else you could be doing. Could you freelance on weekends? Could you sell something? Could you invest a small amount each month so that your money starts making a little money? It starts small. But the mindset shift from I have a job to I am building multiple income streams is one of the most powerful changes you can make. You're making financial decisions based on emotion. You had a rough week. You deserve a treat. You're celebrating something. You're stressed, so you shop. You're bored, so you scroll through an online store and add things to your cart. Emotional spending is one of the most common and most destructive financial habits that exists, and it is almost always invisible to the person doing it. Start paying attention to when and why you spend. Is it tied to a mood, a trigger, a specific situation? The goal isn't to never enjoy your money. The goal is to make sure your spending decisions are made intentionally, not impulsively. When you feel the urge to spend, give yourself 24 to 48 hours. If you still want it after that waiting period, fine. But you'll be surprised how often the urge just disappears. You're not investing anything at all. Money sitting in a regular bank account is money slowly losing value to inflation. Every year that passes where your money is not working for you is a year of growth you can never get back. The concept of compound interest, where your money earns returns, and then those returns earn returns, and it builds on itself over time, is the most powerful wealth-building tool available to ordinary people. But it requires time, and every year you wait, you lose some of that time forever. You don't need to be an expert to start investing. You don't need a lot of money. You need to start somewhere. Learn as you go, and be consistent. Even a small amount invested monthly, over a long enough period of time, grows into something significant. The best time to start was years ago. The second best time is today. You're surrounding yourself with people who normalize being broke. You've probably heard that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. There's a reason that idea has stuck around. Because it's true. If everyone in your circle is broke, complains about money, makes jokes about never being rich, and rolls their eyes at anyone who talks about financial goals, that environment will pull you down whether you realize it or not. This doesn't mean you abandon your friends or your family, but it does mean you need to be intentional about who you're taking financial advice from, who you're having serious conversations with about money, and who you're spending the majority of your time around. Find people who are further along than you. Find communities, online or in person, where people talk about building wealth seriously. The conversations you have and the environments you put yourself in shape You're thinking more than almost anything else. You're waiting for the right time to start. There is no right time. There will always be a reason to wait. The economy isn't stable. You don't have enough saved yet. You need to learn more first. You'll start after the holidays. You'll start when things calm down. You'll start next year. People who wait for perfect conditions to start building wealth never build wealth. Perfect conditions don't exist. Imperfect action taken consistently will always beat perfect plans that never get executed. Start now. Start messy. Start with what you have and what you know. Adjust as you learn. The goal is motion, because once you're moving, you can steer, but you can't steer something that isn't moving. You're paying everyone else before you pay yourself. Most people's financial system works like this. Get paid, pay bills, buy groceries, spend on entertainment and daily life, and whatever is left over at the end of the month, if anything, gets saved. That system almost never works because there is almost never anything left over. The money always gets absorbed. The people who actually build savings reverse this. The second money comes in, a portion immediately goes to savings or investments, not whatever is left, the first portion. Then they live on what remains. This is the pay yourself first principle, and it is one of the most consistently recommended pieces of financial advice from every serious money expert who has ever lived. Automate it if you can. Make it happen before you ever have a chance to spend the money. You're treating your credit card like extra income. A credit card is not a raise. It is not bonus money. It is a short-term loan that comes with extremely high interest rates if you don't pay it back immediately. The credit card companies are not offering you convenience out of kindness. They are counting on you spending more than you have and paying interest on the difference. That interest is how they make their money. Don't be their business model. If you use a credit card, pay the full balance every single month without exception. If you can't do that, you're spending more than you earn. And the credit card is hiding that problem from you while also making it worse. Either cut the card up entirely or treat it like a debit card. Only charge what you already have the cash to cover. You have no financial goals. I want to have more money is not a financial goal. It's a wish. A financial goal is specific, measurable, and time-bound. I want to save $5,000 in the next 12 months. I want to be debt-free within 2 years. I want to have 3 months of expenses saved by the end of this year. When you have a specific target, you can make a specific plan. When your goal is vague, your actions will be vague too. Write your goals down. Put a number on them, put a date on them, then work backwards and figure out exactly what you need to do each month, each week, each day to hit that target. This is not complicated, but almost nobody does it, which is exactly why almost nobody achieves it. You're ignoring the skills that would increase your income. Here's a reality that nobody wants to talk about. Budgeting can only take you so far. If your income is small, there is a ceiling to how much cutting back can help you. At some point, the most powerful financial move you can make is not reducing what you spend, it's increasing what you earn. And that almost always comes down to the skills you're developing. What are you learning right now? What marketable skill are you actively improving? What knowledge are you building that someone would pay you more for? The world rewards people who can do valuable things at a high level. If you're not investing time in your own skill development, you're letting your earning potential stagnate. Your income is a direct reflection of the value you bring. Increase the value. Increase the income. You believe your financial situation is someone else's fault. This is the last one, and it might be the most important. It is very easy and very tempting to look at your financial situation and find someone else to blame. The economy, the government, your upbringing, your employer, your family, your circumstances, and honestly, some of those things may have genuinely made your path harder. That's real, and it's not being dismissed here. But here's the thing. The moment you hand responsibility for your financial life to someone or something outside of yourself, you also hand over the power to change it. Because if it's someone else's fault, then only someone else can fix it. And that is a trap. The people who break the poverty cycle are the ones who say, regardless of how I got here, I am going to take full ownership of where I go from here. That shift, from victim to agent, is the foundation that every other move on this list is built on. We know that was a lot to take in, and we want to be clear. This list wasn't made to make you feel bad about where you are. It was made to give you something useful to work with. Some of these will apply to you, some won't. But if even 2 or 3 of these shift the way you think about your money, this video has done its job. The poverty cycle is not unbreakable. People break it every single day. Not by luck, not by accident, but by changing habits, changing thinking, and refusing to stay comfortable in a situation that isn't working. If you found this valuable, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And let us know in the comments, which of these 15 hits closest to home for you? What money moves are you committing to stop making starting today? We'd love to know. We'll see you in the next one.